All right, this is Back Porch Memories with Tennessee Jay. Today we have a very special guest on the Back Porch, a veteran of over 20 years of touring and recording. He's a native North Carolinian that makes his home port in Wilmington. Here today to talk to us about his latest CD, Bubbified, about his decades-long career of performing and songwriting, and what's coming up with him in the near future. I'd like to welcome you, Chris Bellamy, to the Back Porch. Hello.
Hey, Jay. It's great to be here. It's a pretty day here in North Carolina. It was nice over there. I'm glad to be here with you.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about this Bubbified CD.
Bubbified CD kind of came about through a series of different songs that I wrote over the years. Of course, Bubbified was written by Catesby Jones, and he brought that song to me one day when I was passing through town. I had come home to do some chores and one thing and another quickly from a tour in Florida. And we listened to this song over at Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue, which was a fitting place for a song called Bubbified. And I just really liked the tune, you know, and I grew up in a little town called Garner, North Carolina. My daddy, we were all mechanics, you know, automatic transmission, brakes, stuff like that, and we had a garage. And the song Bubbified was just all about that kind of life. That's been a number of years ago. And I just wound up writing songs over a period of time that kind of fit that whole idea. And they're true life songs. Everything I do that I write about, I've either done or am doing or know who did. You know, it's all the fishing and hunting stuff is just a portrayal of how I live. It makes it fun and it makes it easy, sort of, you know. Once I can figure out how to get it down on the neck of a guitar and get the lyrics down, that Bubbified tune just kind of fit like a glove, and that's what started it all.
Well, you've been called the genre buster of music, spanning blues, island, country, jazz, and most every other style of music, and probably some that's not even been named yet. Where does all that diversity come from, and how do you describe your creative style?
Well, you know, when I was little, I started playing guitar. I could actually probably play pretty decent by the time I was 7 years old. I started holding my daddy's guitar, which was a big old, to me at 5 years old, was a great big guitar. It was a Les Paul, an old top Les Paul, heavy as a brick. And I'd sit there on Saturdays and watch Porter Wagner and Flat Scruggs, the whole crowd on Saturday on the Grand Ole Opry. And I'd just, you know, sit there and try to tink on the guitar at 5 and watch them boys play their music. And I just kind of kept doing that. And Daddy plays, and my granddaddy did play when he was alive. So I had music around me, and I just started picking a little bit here and there, and I studied a lot of Chet Atkins. That was a big influence. And then, of course, along come Jerry Reed, which really rocked my world. I just dearly love his guitar style, and and other people along the way that I haven't really truly met. Jimmy Capps is in Nashville. He was a Grand Ole Opry player for forever and still is very active as a player in the Nashville session scene. People like that, just I've talked to Jimmy a number of times on the phone over the years, and I never did get to meet Chet or Jerry, but I saw them live in Raleigh a time or two, and that whole thing that they had going is a lot of what I do now. They call it chicken picking. That kind of it's kind of banjo picking on a guitar almost.
Yeah. 12 tracks, mostly of your originals, kind of a southern feel. Which song's your favorite on there?
If I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be River Ranch. I like the guitar playing in it. It is a story about our camp out near Lake Wales. And the ballad songs I put on there, John Ashley and Queen of the Everglades, they're moonshining songs. I really like those songs. The Queen of the Everglades is a true story, verbatim. It's true, is right out of the book almost. I pretty much just kind of rewrote it, so to speak. And but yeah, River Ranch is my pick. And I'm working with a gentleman named Gary Bradshaw out of Phoenix, Arizona through Airplay Direct, who is my promoter. We're going to release River Ranch as a single here in the U.S. We're charting right now, in 60 countries with this Bubba Fight record. And I'm just so excited about it. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me, Jay, by a long shot. So Bubba Fight is the single that's out now in the U.S. And of course it's available on every media known to man, from iTunes to CD Baby to Amazon as an album download. And but as far as favorites go, I'd have to say it's River Ranch and Bubba Fight and John Ashley coming in at a close second and third.
just the whole CD basically. Okay. We're talking with Chris Bellamy. Let's listen to a little Chris Bellamy right now. We'll just play his favorite or one of his favorites. Here's Chris Bellamy with River Ranch on Back Porch Memories. You're listening to Back Porch Memories with Tennessee J on the Bluegrass Mix. Welcome back to Back Porch Memories. We're talking today with Chris Bellamy, recording artist and songwriter. Chris, let's talk about one of your earlier CDs, The Oyster Man. It starts off with a wonderful song that I really like, Allison's song. It goes all the way through to your own version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Although released in 2008, I guess it's still readily available. It uses more traditional bluegrass instruments and still has that unique cross-genre sound that is characteristic of your music.
Well, yeah, The Oyster Man was a big project that we tackled. It took about a year to do. I was on the road a whole lot, like 250, 275 dates that year. And I was living in Florida as well as some in Wilmington, North Carolina. We worked on that record for about 4 months at a little studio here in Wilmington, put it all together and came to a place where I figured I just wanted some better material than I had. The record kind of became its own entity. The stuff I wrote on that particular record is very bluegrass influenced by a lot of the music that I heard out at a little restaurant called Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere, Florida. We spend a lot of time around there. It's cattle country, citrus country. It's really rural, and there's a lot of bluegrass out there. And so that whole record kind of came out of that time in my life where, I had a lot of really good bluegrass influence around me and a lot of good players. And of course, the Yeehaw Junction Bluegrass Festival is a big deal down there. It happens in February, late January, early February, depending on the year. But that Oyster Man thing, the song itself was written about a relationship that Mr. Roland Hill, who is a longtime resident of Grant, Florida. He was 84, 85 years old when I met him. He was the Florida State Oyster Open champion in 1964, and he's just a character. They've been married to the same woman for all his life. He told me this little story, and he was telling me about, the oysters, and he's the reason. Him and his wife are the reason that I wrote the song "The Oyster Man" like it is. It's a relationship song, kind of dedicated to long-term relationships and how comforting they can be for the people in those relationships.
Well, tell us a little bit more about the Allison song, Chris.
I really respect Allison Krauss and the Union Station Band tremendously. I listen to a lot of their music, and Allison's voice is just angelic to me. She's incredible, and the whole band is. And I was at home one day after I had been to the Yeehaw Junction Bluegrass Festival, which is out near Lake Wales area of Florida. And it was one of them rainy days and windy, and it was just me and the dogs there at the house. And I had a Allison Krauss song on the stereo, and it just gave me, some inspiration, and it was a good day to write a song, and so I wrote that song, Allison's song, about how it made me feel. So the song is about the feeling that I had from hearing her music rather than really about her. It's about the feeling. And a lot of my stuff's like that. A lot of things that I've developed a feel for is how I write, rather than writing directly about the subject. I write about the feel of it. And that's a lot of people really have noticed that over the years, that it gives it a little more of a spread as far as audience. When you're not so specific about something, when you're writing about a feel, people tend to really identify with that at times. And sometimes, I write like the ballads are about specific subjects. But some songs tend to be, about feelings rather. And that's kind of how Allison's song came about.
From the CD, The Oyster Man, let's listen to Allison's song.
Back Porch Memories with Tennessee J. From our back porch to yours.
You're listening to Back Porch Memories with Tennessee J. We're having a talk with Chris Bellamy. Chris, other than here on the back porch and radio stations across the country and really around the world now, where can listeners find more about you and your music, maybe pick up some CDs?
Well, there's my whole catalog. I have 8 CDs out. There's actually 9 CDs. The Chris Bellamy collection is a double. So there's 9 CDs in 8 packages, and that's all on CD Baby. And, they have clips, the whole catalog, 30, 40-second clips, every single song. You can go to my website, www.chrisbellamy.com, and I have a player that'll come on. And also, I just added it's a link at the top of the page called Other Links. And all the stuff that's happening right now, the newspaper articles, the Airplay Direct, all that is right there for you. So all you got to do is click on Other Links at chrisbellamy.com, and you can view my full-length listens of the top 5 songs this week on Bubbafied. And just by going to the Airplay Direct link, you can listen to it. And I can't download it, but you can listen to it. That's a radio station grade CD quality listen, so you can listen to that there. And also this week we're going to be putting, the Oyster Man will be put on Airplay Direct, and then it will be followed by Blue Water World and Beach Town and a number of other CDs we put together over the years. There's a link to Airplay Direct on my website under Other Links. And it'll just take you straight to my artist page there. And of course, CD Baby's got plenty of stuff. If you just want a real quick link, you don't have to hear a whole song. But it's right there. It's a good spot.
Okay. What can we expect from you in the near future?
Well, I really am interested in doing another CD here sometime in the next, I'd say, 12 to 18 months. And it's going to be very guitar-oriented, kind of like Bubbafied, but maybe, not quite as country as Bubbafied is in some aspects. I love the bluegrass feel, that bluegrass country roots kind of feel, the Alison Krauss, J.D. Crowe kind of thing that rolls so easily across, the music spectrum. So I'm going to work on putting that material together. I've got one gospel song that I wrote one night after coming home from a bluegrass festival. I've never done one of those before, but this is a song, about calling your daddy when you wouldn't necessarily normally call him because it was so late at night. He happened to pick up that night, and I kind of equate that into a gospel formula, and so I'm serious. I've had a few people for different reasons, asked me about that song, and I think I'm going to publish that as well. So we're going to be right there where your listeners, I believe, will enjoy it, and my country people will too. That's a great audience of folks. Those people. I mean, like you were saying earlier, they notice things. Mm-hmm. They pay attention, and what I love about what I do is I love to play for people. If I'm ever near where you're at, I'll certainly I'd love to do a show there, because I enjoy playing for people who love music. That's the thing. A lot of what I do is playing in live venues, and it might be loud, and there's distractions, there's TVs, there's whatever, and you got to really work hard to keep people's attention. But like on your show or live audience music show, it's just so great to play for people that are there to listen to what you're doing, and so that's a cool thing about that. Your audience, they like the music, and that's what I like.
Yeah, they definitely like the music. Tell me, Chris, I know schedules change as time goes on, but where can people come see you live this summer? Right this minute, I'm all over eastern North Carolina, pretty much. My website at chrisbellamy.com has got my calendar. I post that at the beginning of each month. I stay, pretty visible on Facebook as well, the Chris Bellamy fan page. And, of course, there's my regular page, which is people are welcome to join. It's chris.bellamy.94. That's my Facebook page. And there's a lot of guitar pickers on there, a lot of artists, and it's a right interesting page. It's never nothing boring. It's almost like its own news feed. Chris, I want to thank you for joining me today on the Back Porch and welcome you into the Back Porch family.
Man, that's sure great to be here. I am tickled to death to be getting some airplay from you folks and getting to know everybody out in Maryville and around that area. I know your internet station, it goes everywhere. So, there's people, I'm sure, far and wide listening, and I really, really appreciate it and enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, I kind of look at it like my backyard has become the whole world.
Yeah, like what we're doing here is this is my first video feed, and it's let's do another one sometime.
We will. I hope you get a chance to come back and visit with us again sometime. Let's finish this up with one more Chris Bellamy song. Do you want to introduce this one?
Sure. This is a song off the Oyster Man CD that I wrote a few years ago called Kelly Girl. It's one of those songs that's kind of near to my heart, and I hope you folks enjoy it.